is, what you see on social media is just the love. They do it for the social media most of the times, but nobody is going to show you the ugly side of love, which is there, of course, which is there. You might quarrel sometimes, there are conflicts, and that is very natural. Even
Hmm.
if you are living with your parents, you love them to the core, but you have fights with them. So that is very natural.
Good afternoon. Good to see you again.
Good afternoon. Yeah, thank you so much. Same here. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing well. How are you? How's your Sunday? Are you under the weather?
Not actually, but I was, but now I'm feeling a lot better. But yes, are you? Because I feel so.
No, no, no. I'm doing pretty fine. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty fine as well. Things are going great. So I have been trying to spend my Sunday productively, but what am I actually doing is watching some series. Uh, kind of laid back attitude, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually not guilty because I'm liking it so much.
Wow, what are you watching?
I am watching Demon Slayer. That's an animation series.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay. And how's your neighbor or friend who was in the hospital?
Better, doing better. He is discharged now. And of course, everything is fine.
Okay, that's
He's
good.
at his home, so everything is good now.
Okay, I think you'll get back to work now.
Yes, of course, of course. I have joined my work again.
Okay, okay. So before we go ahead, I would love for you to introduce yourself to my viewers.
Okay, sure, sure. Yeah, hi. Hi, ma'am, and everyone. My name is Rupal. I'm an English teacher and content creator. I was born and raised in Sihor, Madhya Pradesh, a small town in central India, very famous for wheat production. If I talk about my education, I have done my Bachelor in Arts and BEd, and I've done it from Bhopal and Indore, respectively. And if I talk about my hobbies, it would be cooking, swimming, watching movies, and sometimes listening to music. That is what I do for myself. And here I am today talking to you. And my channel's name is Rupal's English Corner, where I have been, making content related to conversation, communication, and everything that surrounds the language. Yeah, that's a bit.
Wonderful. Good to know about you. Um,
Thank
Also, I would want to ask you, why did you choose teaching as a profession? Because I think nowadays people, they go for the teaching line if they are a bit laid back or, for some other reasons. But what was your reason of choosing the teaching career?
Yeah, I know a lot of people keep telling me that people often don't choose this profession. And I have heard this from my students as well, that why would you become a teacher? You could have become anything else. But I really feel that when I'm in the classroom, I am doing my best. Okay, I am the happiest. And what I feel is I love connecting with people. So when I'm with my students and when I'm teaching, I feel full of myself. And at least I'm connecting with so many lives all at once. And I get to influence. I don't know if it is positive or negative, but I'm trying my best to positively influence them. But I really love myself when I'm in the classroom setting or whenever I'm teaching or connecting with people. So it's not just about teaching in a school. It is all about teaching in particular, wherever, however I can. And I love connecting with people, and that is one of the profession that has given me this chance. So I know, and I really feel that I was always told that I can explain things very well. So this was one of the reasons that people can connect to me while explain things. So this was one of the professions I was looking forward to.
Okay. So was there any inspiration that motivated you to choose this career path?
Not inspiration, but I would say I saw my teachers and decided what kind of teacher I don't want to be. Okay, and I have become a teacher because I really feel that students require good teachers and they are in dire need of good teachers who can understand them. And I really want to be an example that even if you are not being strict and if you are not beating up the students, students can still, be their best selves. All
Mm.
you need is a gentle push to give to them. All you need is to understand them because this generation, our generation, is not someone you can, scare them off and you can get the work done.
Mm, good. And did you choose to teach English or like it was given as a subject to you for teaching?
No, actually, it was nothing like that. So I was a teacher. I have taught primary classes as well. Now I'm teaching higher classes like 11, 12, 9, 10th. So I'm taking English, and for some classes I even take social science. But English, because I was more interested in, working on my communication, and as well as they thought that I'm a good choice for teaching English. So this is one of the reasons they gave me English. And when I got it as a subject, I was always interested in English as a language because I wanted to improve myself, work on myself, polish myself. But when it was given to me as a subject, I delved into it and I realized that yes, this is what I want to do as a subject also and as a language also. And I love teaching social science as well, though I'm working on my skills as a social science teacher right now.
Okay. Also, I've noticed that you use very nice words. Is there any specific activity or exercise that you're doing in order to remember words and use in conversations? Because
Do
somewhere,
I?
yeah, you do. You use really nice words and advanced words. It's not totally basic. So, is there any conscious practice that you're doing for it?
Not any conscious practice, but that one thing I actually do is whenever I see a new word, I try to bring it or try to use it in my conversations for next 3 to 4 times. Even if I'm talking to myself, like I've always told people that I talk to myself if I have nobody around. Okay, so I try to use that word. So that's how I try to create a muscle memory for words.
Okay, that's nice to know. That's what you should do in order to remember a word, right? Rather than writing it down and then learning the meaning, and then it's nice that if you practically put it into use, then you'll be able to remember it better.
Exactly. Like this is the same way how English as a subject works, right? If you're just reading and reading more literature and literature, you might end up forgetting it. But if you bring it into practice, okay, for example, you read a poem, okay, Shakespearean poem or from the Victorian era or from the Romantic age, you read some poem. And now, of course, you won't remember that poem. You won't remember anything. And you try to recollect what you read, and if you try to relate it with the nature or relate it with the environment or with the factors that are contributing to that poem, then you might remember somewhat. That is what I feel.
True, true. Yeah. So I just thought of discussing the topic love with you. Um,
Oh,
I believe you're single.
yes.
Oh. We'll have an interesting conversation because point of view is going to change because I'm at least maybe a decade apart. We
One.
are. So you'll have different opinions, perspectives uh, compared to what I have experienced in life. So I look forward to this session. So, okay, so what do you think finding love has become easier these days because of technology?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It has become difficult, more difficult these days. I would say if you find love, if you find someone who really wants to be with you forever and ever, then you are one of the most fortunate souls ever, I would say. It is not at all easy. Everybody is looking for something short time or something not actually affectionate as possible as we want. So it is not actually very easy. Okay, so being from this generation, I often see on Instagram and I often see posts like, okay, if you have found true love in this generation, you are very lucky, you are God's favorite child. And I never knew why do people talk like this, but then I realized, yes, that's true. If you are somebody who believes in love, like timeless love, okay, head over heels kind of love, and that affection, that unconditional love, then you really need to struggle a lot in this generation.
Mm, yeah.
What do you
Okay.
think about that, ma'am?
I think, we have a lot of options these days, right? So I cannot put myself in that situation and try to analyze if I were in that position, what I would. I don't know. It's very difficult to choose, right? Ours was old school. Like we didn't even have phones when we were in our college days, so it was different. But again, if you consider another 10, 20 years, my mother's generation, that was totally different. They had one man in their life, and that was arranged marriage. And for the rest of their lives, it was that's it. It was fixed. But nowadays, people have so many options. It becomes difficult to choose because they keep jumping from one relationship to the another. And I think it is very difficult to stay loyal these days because back those days, women did not go out so much and they did not, check out the options or something. It was like mostly arranged marriage, and one man got married, moved in, and lived with that man forever. They wouldn't even think, or they would think like it was a sin to even think about another man. But now women are also outside. They know their choices. They know what is right or wrong for them, and nobody else decides on their behalf, right? So now it is like equally, like both have options, and it is very difficult to choose the right person. Even if you choose get married, then 6 months to 1 year you are like, I think I need something better, or I cannot get adjusted to this person. I think that becomes difficult. I don't know, the love angle, it just fades away. The I have seen in my I was fortunate enough to see somebody who has unconditional love for someone, so I have seen a live example for that, and I just feel that I'm blessed to have seen that. But now I don't know, because we see like younger generation, they just very recently it happened in our town. Just because the girl did not agree, he just murdered her in the campus. So I don't know if that is true love, or what is it. If a girl doesn't agree to get married to you, just kill her. Uh, how can that be love? I don't
That is
know.
not love, actually. That is not love, actually. That's a kind of obsession, we say. People, when are overly obsessed, they become psychotic sometimes, and they often forget that there are limits to everything. They often forget that this is the person whom I love. Okay, they're so dependent and they are so full of themselves that they just forget that there is other person who has emotions and feelings and even has a family, and that person has devoted themselves to you. Now
Mm,
you just feel like, I don't know, there's a thing called unconditional love, unrequited love. Okay. I don't think so it is possible anymore. And when you talked about loyalty, yes, loyalty is a choice. Okay. Even if I go out everywhere, even if I travel the whole world, if I'm wandering everywhere and my heart is with that one person, I will never ever be able to, look or feel the same way for anyone else. Okay. I would say I'm fortunate enough that I also have someone like that in my life. And in past few years, I have never felt the same way, not even a bit for anyone else, not even a percentage that I would ever feel the same way for anyone else in my life. So I feel loyalty is a choice. And if, that is one thing, like you said, when you go out and you see a lot of people, but then you know that somebody is waiting for you at home, okay, whom you have promised for evers and evers. So this is one of the reasons I feel that you cannot blame other people for you not being able to sustain your loyalty. It is you who was not able to. Okay, if I am cheating, because cheating has become so common, that if, actually cheating has become so common in this era, that if you are loving someone and being with the same person for years and years, people often consider, bro, it is so rare, like they have seen a unicorn. Actually, it is so rare. People do tell it, okay, this is so rare. You have been with the same boy, with the same girl for so many years. I'm like, yes, we love each other's company. I've often been, I'll tell you, my friend has often been asked, and they ask, what do you don't have anything else to do? How do you spend your whole day, these many years with that one girl all the time? And he has this one thing to say, that because that is what I like. That is what I love. I don't see anything else other than that. So this is one of the reasons I would so. And when uh, when we talk about love, when you don't find love, because what happens, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So when you don't find love, you feel the urge to be in love and relationships. But once you are there, you put a lot of efforts when you are not in a relationship, when you have not found love. But once you do it, then the efforts are fading, like, gradually fading. Okay. So you're not putting the same efforts. So if you want to be in love forever and ever, you need to keep putting the same efforts all your life. Right. And it's not, you have to put 100% efforts and the other person has to put the 100% efforts. No, you can always be 50-50. Sometimes it can be 80-20, 70-30, of course. No, it is not something that the only person, that the girl or maybe the boy would be doing, sorry, would be doing the same every day, would be feeling the same every day. So you just need to understand others person's need. Okay, the other person's need, and then you have to act upon that. This is what I feel.
Mm.
And this is why there are certain relationships which we see, and there's this new tag, the whole point was this, the whole point was this is circulating all over Instagram, that they see couples who are getting older and older, 80-year-old, 90-year-old, they're holding hands and they're roaming, and then people click their pictures and post it, and this was the whole point. Now you need to realize that what sort of hardship, struggle, and forgiveness they might have gone through to survive and be there till 80. Okay,
Mm.
they didn't, they might not have been interested in finding anyone else. They tried to work on themselves instead of, okay, this is not working out, I'll find someone else. No, you have to work on yourselves. Okay, and you need to accept that what are your mistakes. Okay, nobody is perfect. Like, humans are not perfect, but
Mm.
at least you have found that one person whom you think can be perfect for you. So you can always, come up with things which might bring joy to your relationships or love.
Mm. But do you think love can change a person, or is it fair enough for us to
Yes.
expect them to change, or just let it be? And if they feel the love that you are giving them, they'll change themselves in order to suit you. Is that right or wrong?
Completely. From my personal experience, it is completely right. Love can change a person. I am putting my point here because I have said this before and I'm saying it again, that I had anger issues. Okay. So because of I'm like completely honest, because of some relationships that didn't work out, because of a relationship that didn't work out for me, I was heartbroken, I was disheartened, I was devastated, shattered completely. I couldn't do anything for like whole 1 year, and that really made me feel, that anguish, that anger, that it brought, okay, in the relationship and after the relationship. I feel that has somewhere, because there are certain people in this world, they're so sensible, so mature, they're providing you with so much of unconditional love, and they have such sense of worthiness that they make they make certain changes in your life. Like, I never used to believe in myself. Okay, this YouTube channel would have never happened if my partner would not have forced me. Never
Mm.
ever. Because he was one of the reasons, my sister was one of the reasons. And love is not all about just two people, okay? When we talk about love, we think, okay, love is just, two people holding hands and bouquets and grand gestures. Not at all. Love is even you change for your mother, right? Sometimes you love your mother. Okay, and sometimes you realize, okay, she loves me, and this is one particular habit I need to change, and I need to evolve so that my mother can love me more, and I can, have a more affectionate bond with her. So
Yes.
you of course you change, right? You
Mm.
build those habits. You actually don't change, you evolve. Okay.
Correct.
So this is the thing. So love isn't changing you, but I feel, okay, of course, if people are telling you, if you love me, don't wear clothes like that. If you love me, don't go out. If you love me, don't talk to anyone. These are very immature and, naive kind of things, I would say. This is not something actually love teach you. Love teaches you how to overcome and evolve. Love teaches you how to be in the present situation, how to love yourself, how to believe in yourself. So this is what I have been taught by my mother, by my sister, by my partner. So yes, of course, they have given me this chance to be a better version of myself. So why would I not like it? Okay, if somebody is telling me that anger is not good for your health, and that is actually right, anger is not good for your
Yeah.
health, and I'm completely denying that, you are not someone to tell me that anger is not good for your health, I will do whatever I want, then this is your immaturity, this is your naiveness, right? So of course love is somewhere help. I don't know about other people, but as in general, if there is love, and a love which is healthy, will always help you to grow, and you both will grow and evolve together. That is what I feel.
Yeah, it will change you in a positive way if you feel that,
Yes, exactly.
good for both of you or for you, maybe in terms of health or anything, then definitely it is going to, you have to refine and you have to evolve yourself. I think you'll do it if you would really feel that connection with that person. And if you feel that they are uh, your well wishers, you'll definitely do it for them. And without
And
that,
even if,
I'm changing
yes,
for
I'm
that
sorry.
person or feeling guilty about, so why should I change? This is not me. That doesn't happen. Love also requires a little bit of sacrifice in a happy way. It's not that you are going to sacrifice and then feel guilty about it. Yeah, okay, you continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you always go the extra mile, right? You make special efforts for someone. This happens, okay? And this is, I was never, I won't say that I was someone who was smitten, Okay, like I was instantly charmed or attracted with someone. No, I am not that person. I usually take time. Even if I have to make friends, I am somebody who was a very, outgoing person, socially outgoing person. So I would make friends in a jiffy, because
Okay.
being an extrovert, being an extrovert, this was an edge I had. Okay,
Mm,
so I talked to people for 15 minutes, and remember, we would exchange numbers and we would talk, and we have become friends, and next day we are going for tea parties all together. Okay, so being an extrovert, this gives you an edge to talk to people. This was one of the reasons I was being able to talk to anyone.
mm,
Like I said, that I loved communicating with people, connecting with people. This was one of the reasons that I came into a field where I get to communicate with people on daily basis, with as many souls, as many people as possible in a single day. Like if I would have been in a different, a job or maybe anything different, I would have talked to one or two people at once. Okay, I might have gone out with everyone and a lot of people for parties, friends and colleagues. But when you talk about, I don't have colleagues, I have students. Things are
right.
very different. But you feel so special when students actually call you, okay, ma'am, I really need to do. And I don't know, maybe I'm lucky enough that God gave me, with God's grace, I have got this, kind of vibe that I got connected with my students so fast, so soon, that they call me often and they're like, ma'am, I need to talk to you about something. And they might end up talking about the relationships to their parents, to their, worst scenarios and everything to me, and I feel so lucky that they have found someone whom they can rely on now.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so this give me an instant boost and motivation to, stay in my profession and keep giving it my best.
That's
And if
right.
it makes you happy, it doesn't matter what profession you're choosing, until and unless it is making you happy and keeping you sane.
Definitely. It's ultimately you have to enjoy what you're doing. Otherwise, no matter how much that job pays, you're not going to be happy doing it. So if you're passionate and
Absolutely.
happy doing it, so you have made the right choice.
True, true, true. So, ma'am, you had an arranged marriage setup or a love marriage setup. I'm not sure. So,
My
what do you feel about arranged marriage?
yes, yes.
So, what do you feel about it? Like,
Yeah, it is good actually because then you will have your family is choosing somebody for you with all the background checking and everything, and they decide if the person is right for you or no. And they have seen you since childhood. They know your likes, dislikes, your wants. So definitely they'll keep in mind everything, right? So what is going to suit you, and then they're going to choose a person for you. But then also I was also given choice to have a chat to decide for myself whether I wanted to go ahead with the relation or no. I think love happens eventually. It's not that you loved a person, you got married and you settled and that's it. I think love happens every now and then with the same person repetitively, right? That is what every relationship is a work. It's hard work. You have to invest a
absolutely.
lot in it. So it doesn't matter whether love marriage or arranged marriage. If I'm a kind of person, if I live with a person or I'm very close to that person, eventually I'll get very attached to that person. So that issue was not there from my end. So I was confident that if I'm going to stay with this person, I'm going to make that person like me and I'm going to like that person. So I'm very I adjust a lot to situations. I'm very adaptive. So it is okay, but also love marriage is also in its place very special because you know that person, you've spent a lot of time, you know what to expect. But arranged marriages can be scary because you don't know everything about that person once you before you get married. How much do you have? Like 6 months before you get married to a person, and you unless you've lived with that person for 3 months, 6 months, lived as in lived together, until then you want to know everything about them. So I think love marriage is a little bit easier on you, but arranged marriage will come with a lot of surprises or sometimes shocks, which you have to decide whether you can cope with it, or I think you'll eventually work your way up if you really want to be in that relationship. So I think both are okay, depends on the situations and the choices that people make. But mine was an arranged marriage, and I'm okay. I'm happy with it.
Wonderful, beautiful. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have an arranged marriage, love marriage, until and unless you're very happy and you are content with it, right? Like you said, you have you have to work on it. And I'll add one more point, that self love matters. That is very important. You just can't pour from an empty mug, right, or empty cup, right? You need to be full of love, or at least you need to love yourself as much that you can provide a bit love or a little love to the other person as well. And when you said that I want to talk about love today, the topic would be love. I was, a bit skeptical and bewildered that how to, describe love, because love is not a topic, not a verb. It is a feeling. It is an
Yes.
emotion. How I can express love, but to talk about love would be so difficult for me. But you really made it so easy.
Because I did
Okay.
not go with, can you define love? Because I don't think anybody
Yeah,
can.
exactly, exactly. And sometimes I feel love is loud and sometimes it is quiet. Like some people like to express it a lot, while some people do not express it, but they love a lot. If I talk about, for example, some fathers, okay,
Mm.
and some mothers. Like mothers are more expressive when it comes to love, but
Yeah.
fathers, they are quiet, okay, they don't express, but of course they love you a lot.
Yes.
Okay, but my father is a different case. Okay, he will show me love when he has to. Okay, he doesn't talk to me, but even if he loves me, he won't show it until unless I'll do something like, no, now you are gone, case. Now I'll be beaten. Okay, my father is something like this. So I am very scared of my father. Very. People do often tell me, now you're 25, 26. Why are you even scared of my? I'm like, no. The only thing on this earth I fear is my father. Still.
Mm. Mm. And age doesn't matter, honestly. Though you're 25, 26, you're scared of your dad. I am, my daughter is almost going to be a teenager. I'm still scared of my dad. And that will
Oh my
always,
God, you look so young. You have a daughter?
yeah, my daughter is 11.
Oh my God.
My son is 6, but no matter what happens, as long as my dad is there, I'll always be scared of him. And that is maybe depends on the upbringing and so many years of staying under fear. So
True,
that
true, true.
generation was
Exactly.
like that, where you were kind of scared more and about your parents, but not today's generation. They are not scared of the parents, but that is what I want them to be. I don't want them to be scared of me. Just love and respect me, and that is enough. Because I know that edge of like being on fear all the time. So I can totally resonate when you told you're scared of your dad and you're 25, 26. Even I am scared.
So, one more thing I just wanted to know, ma'am, from your side, do you think that, like when we are talking about father, they are also, they also love us,
Yes.
and the partner or maybe our husbands, they also love us. But do you think love makes us braver?
Yeah, I
It
think so.
makes
It
us
makes,
brave?
yes, because you know you have somebody to fall back on and you are ready to
Yes.
take risks, and you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but you are like, okay, my partner is there or my dad is there to support me no matter what the outcome is. So then you will be ready
Yes.
to take that risk. If you have somebody who's going to taunt you, criticize you for taking that decision, you will step back, you will not be that courageous. Then I definitely believe that love is encouraging. It gives you a lot of courage to try new things, to do what you want to do, basically.
True, true, absolutely. I mean, when you are in a lovely relationship, healthy relationship, it of course motivates you, pushes you to do better in life. Okay, and rightly said that, you have someone to fall back to, and it's completely fine. You have someone, okay, whatever you're doing, you can always come back to that person. So this is what I feel, that when people tell me that, don't you feel bored of that one person? So, I mean, I don't understand what is that type of questioning. I mean, I don't feel bored of that person whom I love or who loves me. Okay. At least I have someone to come back to rant about, to talk about, to express myself. Okay. And unlike, maybe I that's a detour. But people often say these days that marriage as an institution is, completely failed and skeptical, and people do not want to or do not wish to get married these days because they have seen so many instances, and
Mm.
they are, I don't think so. They are wrong at their place. They have been seeing failed marriages. They have been seeing certain things which scare them off. I really feel, okay. So they don't want to put themselves in such conditions where they might be losing their liberty, freedom, or anything which is associated with their own self. Okay. So that is what I feel. When you have a healthy relationship or true love, that people might not even change the way you're living. Okay. Okay. Like I've heard people, okay, they had a love marriage and they got married and their life is actually the same it was before marriage. So how lucky are those people? They keep telling, always posting and always saying. But do you feel that the love we see on social media is actually always right? Because I am more of a old school romance and love letter kind of person. So I would always love this thing that old school romance. No, I just want to have a cup of tea with that person, and I would listen to old retro music, and that is how I want to spend my evening. I do not want to. I don't prefer it. A lot of people prefer it. So do you think that social media influence the way we love?
I think it depends on a person. It person to person it changes because some people believe in modern love, like giving flowers or celebrating surprises, all of this. But every person has their own love language, different love language, right? Uh, if my husband cooks a nice meal for me and serves, so that is love for me. So it depends on a person's expectation, what they are expecting from your partner, and small acts of love, that is enough. Even I am old school, definitely. But social media, yes, I think, when people are watching on social media, we tend to believe that that person is doing so much for that person, so why are you not like this? So expectation changes, and I think teenagers do not have that maturity in themselves to think that what they're showing on social media is not true. You have to see behind the scenes, what happens behind the scenes. It's not always lovey-dovey. That's not happening all the time. And only positive things they're going to post, right? If they are posting something where they're having a fight or they're quarreling with each other, who is going to watch that? They don't want to post that, right? So only good or positive things they keep posting. And that is only one part of it, maybe a small portion of it. A lot of it goes behind that relationship. And I think that maturity comes with age. You have to cross that stage of 23, 24 to be able to understand maturity of love. But I think, yeah, social media these days influences a lot of teenagers and youngsters, especially. They have to go through that, all of that hurdles to be finally able to be understanding what exactly love is. But yes, it definitely has an influence on people, social media. Huge.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This is definitely like what we see on social media is just skin deep. Okay, not everything that is happening there is true.
Yes.
This is what we really need to understand, that people are not posting every word, not even us. Okay, though I sometimes post even myself crying on social media because okay, I've been sharing, but I'm telling you that I have been called out for this thing. And I felt so hurt for this because I remember I had a mental breakdown one day. And because I have always posted this cheerful, lively pictures and videos of mine on social
Mhm.
media. So one day I was feeling really low and I was having a mental breakdown, and I recorded it just for the sake that life is not always the same. That
Yes.
there was this person who called me out. Okay, people
Mhm.
like you who cry on social media have no life. Somebody actually told me this, and I was so hurt, and it made me feel hurt deep down. So I couldn't post anything like that. This is one of the reasons people don't share their real life, because people don't appreciate what you are. They just want to see things skin deep. They don't want to see how you suffer, what are the hurdles, what are
Mhm.
your troubles. Okay, they don't want to look at it. So this is why it is. So love is, what you see on social media is just the love. They do it for the social media most of the times, but nobody is going to show you the ugly side of love, which is there, of course, which is there. You might quarrel sometimes, there are conflicts, and that is very natural. Even
Mhm.
if you are living with your parents, you love them to the core, but you have fights with them. So that is very natural. Three human beings living together, they might end up fighting.
Yes.
Nobody is a saint.
True. Okay, the final two questions I really wanted to ask. How do you show your love to a person? The first one. The second
What is
one,
my love language?
what's your love language? How do you express your love? What do you do for a person when you love them? How do you show your love? And secondly, um, what makes you feel loved? Please go ahead.
What makes me feel loved? Okay, if I talk about my love language is very simple. I would cook for them. Either I
Okay.
would cook for them the favorite meals, okay, because I really feel everything else can be or could be forgotten. But these little things, okay, I would always remember what they liked in the first place.
Mm.
Okay, so I very much remember that it is with, I'm talking about a friend of mine. Okay, so she was my colleague as well. And we were new to the schools. We both joined at the same time. And after a few days, she she was expecting. Okay, so I remember that her husband was in a different city
Okay.
and she was in a different city. And we became friends. I remember she wanted to go for her checkup, and I never knew that this little thing she will remember till now. Like today is Friendship Day, and I wished her. And today she came up with this thing. So now I'm being able to recall that one day I took her to the doctor and
Oh,
I stayed with her for just 5 6 hours, and she still think that that is one of the most greatest thing I have great one of the most great thing I've done for her. I'm like,
yes.
that was nothing. That was nothing actually. But all these little things. So this is what how I express love. I love doing what if somebody is expecting me to leave them alone, I leave them alone.
Oh,
Okay, because I really feel giving someone giving someone peace is, more important than, invading their space or, not telling them, or telling them to act my way. I
correct.
let them be themselves. I let them be themselves. This is what I do. I listen to them. How do I express love? First thing, I always listen to them, what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Be it, I'll not talk about my mother, though I don't listen to my mother because this is how it is, mother-daughter relationship. But when it comes to my friends and when it comes to other people whom I have, acquaintance with, so of course, I always listen to them because, these days, I'll tell you one thing, people are so lonely, they just want someone to listen to them. I
Correct.
have come across such instances so many times. They tell me, okay, just sit down and listen to me for 10 minutes. I have nothing else to ask you for. Like,
Yes.
okay, not a problem. And then you can, of course, wish them. Of course, you can care for them. I put efforts when it comes to caring. I put efforts when it has to be something, surprising. I'm not saying about grand gestures, but I'm just saying that I of course, I of course care for them. I am always there when they need me, and this is how my love language is. And I might gift them books sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
And the second question was, I have forgotten. I'm sorry.
What makes you feel loved?
What makes me feel loved? Somebody remembering small details about me. Okay, and people do. The people who are so in love do remember everything about me. Again, this instant, I have examples for this because I like my coffee with elaichi. Okay,
Okay.
this is very rare combination, I
Yeah.
know. But lychee wali coffee is something I really, really love. Like lychee cardamom is one of the things I really love. So I like my coffee that way. And this friend of mine, I posted a story that I like my Sunday mornings to be with my lychee wali coffee and my breakfast.
Okay.
So I went to her place and she made me a coffee, and it was a lychee cardamom coffee, lychee wali coffee. And I was like, how do you know this? I saw your story and I remembered that you like it. So
Wow.
I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. Oh my God, you remembered this and you did it for me. I'm like, this is not a very grand gesture, right? But this is something that will stay with me, that made me feel
Right.
love. Okay, people are thinking about me. I just like to sit with people and talk to them. And there are some people who are so beautiful and their souls are so pretty, so kind, that just sitting for with them for 10 15 minutes make you feel loved. You don't have to do anything. Your next 2 days are going to be really positive now.
Correct. Correct. True.